guys, what's up and welcome back to the Trend Diaries. I'm Nidhi. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing 101 about makeup brushes. So I hope this is really helpful for you guys. I'm going to be making this video in two parts. The first part is going to be all your face makeup brushes and the second part will be all your eye makeup brushes, so that it's really easier and it would be really easier for you guys as well to grasp each and everything in detail, because this video is going to be in depth about all of the brushes. I hope this is really helpful for you guys. If you find this video helpful, you know you have to like the video, subscribe to the Trend Diaries if you haven't yet. So let's begin. Starting off with a quick intro about myself, I'm a professional makeup artist from LACME as well as an airbrush makeup artist from LACME. Now let me quickly answer the most asked question. Now the brushes which I have are from Jessup as well as LIABLE Cosmetics, while I have some like these rose gold ones which are like the WetNWild proline dupes which I got from AliExpress. You can also get these dupes on Shein or Club Factory. Black and silver handle one, and these are professional sets. So yes, that was the most asked question on my channel, which brushes exactly are you using. So yeah, that's it. So first, starting off with the makeup, we go for the very first step, that is primer. Now for primer, you can either use your fingers or your hands, but on a professional level we don't use our hands and we prefer using brushes. So these are the kind of brushes that we go for primer. Now these are called as stippling brushes because they have two kind of hair in them. The upper top white portion that you see is synthetic bristles, while the shorter black ones beneath are animal hair. So these are duo fiber brushes, that's why they are called so. So these brushes do not absorb any product and are great for applying your primer. You can either use them for blending your foundation as well if you like using stippling brushes for those. Like the bigger ones can be used for blending your foundation, while the smaller ones can be used for blending the creams, the moisturizer, the primer, or can also be used for blending the blushes like the cream blushes, the liquid blushes and stuff like that. So these come really handy on a professional level. Doing makeup for yourself, I would suggest first thing that you need to remember is go and wash your hands properly, sanitize your hands, and then start off by doing your makeup. Do not start just like that. After primer, we go in for foundation. Now for foundation, I personally like using these kind of dense brushes. Now how to differentiate the brushes, which is a foundation brush or which is a blush brush? The simple thing is that foundation brushes are more dense and more densely packed. You would notice more bristles in these kind of brushes and they are dense. All of the brushes over here, these kind of brushes which are densely packed are called as kabuki brushes. So this one over here is a flat top kabuki brush because it is a cut straight off, and this is my most favorite foundation application brush. A flat top kabuki brush is the best brush ever for applying your foundation according to me. So yes, after those you see these two brushes. These are again kabuki brushes, but these are slant cut kabuki brushes. While this one was flat cut, these are slightly angled, and so they are called as angled kabuki brushes. So these are even good as well. You can apply foundation well with these. You can even reach up to inner corners because of the angle given, and so it is easier to apply. Speciality of these brushes is that they do not leave any brush strokes. Now if you're having some palettes like the foundation palettes or the concealer palette from which you cannot directly apply the foundation or concealer on your skin, at that time we need these kind of brushes. Now these are called the flat foundation brushes or flat concealer brushes. Now these are flat, dorsiventrally flattened brushes, and these kind of brushes are used to just paint your face with the foundation. It is like simply you load your foundation onto these brushes and then swipe it all over the face, so that next you can blend it with your foundation brushes. So these are what they are used for. Now if you're using it on a client, you're mixing shades to make a shade proper to their skin tone, at that time these come really handy. And for your concealer, for example, you're using the MAC concealer palettes, at that time you need the concealer brushes. So the same chotu version of the bigger foundation flat brush is this. These are the concealer flat brushes. Exactly the same thing, it's just that it's a smaller version of the same, as well as for the concealer you get a little bit of pointed tip so that you can reach up to the inner corner, as well as really close to the waterline so that you cover each and every darkness underneath your eyes. So these were the flat foundation brushes. Now, not everybody likes blending their foundation with the foundation brushes. Instead, they go for a beauty sponge. These kind of sponges that you get in the market. And now the thing with these are, these come in a variety of shape. Like this is called the water droplet shape, and now this is angled at both the sides, while this is slant cut at one side. So various types of sponges you get in the market. Now, how to work with this is really important. Firstly, these should be damp and not soaking wet. So what you do is, after you get your blender, you have to soak it in water continuously. Keep the tap on and keep soaking it and squishing it so that the excess water keeps flowing out, and then you need to press it with a towel so that excess water is being removed and the sponge is left damp. Now these damp sponges are what to be used, and these should not be dripping wet, remember that. So next, what you need to do is directly dab on your skin. You're not supposed to swipe, nor you're supposed to drag, you're just supposed to bounce it. This is the method of applying. You have to bounce it. Keep on bouncing it onto your skin for the foundation to blend. Do not drag it on your skin, because that is not the correct method. You have to bounce it simply and it would blend. Now it also has a tapered end at one side, which you can use to blend the concealer near your eye areas or smaller crevices near your nose, so you can use that as well. Okay, so the one most asked question on my channel is, where did you get these sponges from? And now some of the sponges are from AliExpress, while this is from a local store from a nearby market. The things that you need to remember while buying these sponges are, first, they should be extremely soft and squishy to your touch. Now you see, this is really soft and it bounces back once squished, while comparatively this one is stiffer, and comparatively this one is even more stiffer. I have to apply immense pressure to squish this one. Now I'll tell you why is the difference between these sponges. Now, the preferred material of these beauty sponges is latex-free material. That is, it does not have any traces of rubber in them, because the more the rubber, the more the stiffer your blender is. Now this one does have rubber in it. It is not a latex-free sponge, and so it is hard. Comparatively, this has less amount of rubber in it. Still, it is not latex-free. This guy over here is completely latex-free sponge, and so it is damn soft and squishy, and it is the perfect kind of sponge that you need. Next thing that you need to remember while buying the sponges is whether the material of the sponge is hydrophilic or not. Now, what is hydrophilic? Hydro aka water and philic means loving, so water loving material. Now the material of the sponge should be hydrophilic, that is, it should love water, it should have affinity towards water. Only and only then that material would expand and grow when it comes in contact with water, and that is exactly what we want. The sponges, when you get earlier, are smaller in size. As soon as you get them in contact with water and you squish off water continuously, these sponges grow in size, they expand, and that is what hydrophilic nature is, and that is what you want your sponges to do. So you need to check two things while you're buying your sponges. One, they should be latex-free material, and two, they should be hydrophilic material as well. So I guess I solved all of the doubts that I used to get every day on my channel. So next step after foundation application is your cream contour. Once you're laid with your foundation, you go for cream contouring. Now for cream contouring, you use this kind of flat cut brushes. Now these are smaller, denser, and these are cut flat on the top. So these kind of brushes are used to blend your cream contour. Simply you just need to pat it like that and it would blend. So these kind of brushes make it really simpler to blend your cream contour products and cream products. These were the cream contour blending brushes. Now next, when you apply your concealer, you have to blend the concealer. Now for blending the concealers, I use these kind of brushes. These are the concealer buffing brushes. Now this one is slightly bigger in size, and this is the chotu version of the same. These are used for blending the concealer or buffing the concealer, and it is really easy. I especially use these kind of brushes for spot concealing and for blending the concealer on my lid area while doing my eyeshadows. So these brushes come really handy, and these are really great at doing the buffing job, and they do it really well. After you're done with all of your cream makeup, next is going for powders. Now for powder, you use these big fluffy brushes. to apply your powder. Now these brushes are really convenient because the bigger the size, the lesser the time they take to cover your entire face. So I just love big fluffy brushes. Now these are densely packed brushes, as you see, and they're really soft, so they do the job really well. Now the thing is that you can also use a smaller kind of these powder brushes to apply your blush as well. So if you want to invest in less number of brushes, you can do that as a hack as well. They work pretty good. Once we are done with applying powder, next step that we go for is contouring. Now for contouring, we use such kind of angular brushes. Now these are not that densely packed, as you see. These also have a slant cut at the edges, because it can easily fit into the hollow of your cheek over here, right, like this or this, anyways as you like. These fit in really well into that hollow of your cheek, and you can contour cheekbone with these kind of brushes. So the angled but slightly fluffy brushes are used for contouring. After contouring, you go to my favorite step, that is bronzing. Now for bronzing, I like to use these kind of tapered brushes. Now as you see, these are long and tapered, so these do a really good job of bronzing. You just need to bronze up your skin to give that sun-kissed look. So these are densely packed, but the shape is nice, long and tapered. So these brushes are used for bronzing. Now if you're having a fuller face, you can use brushes like the powder ones as well to bronze. But if you're having a smaller face like me, brushes like these would deposit a lot of product, and that it will not look good at all. So I like using these kind of tapered brushes as they are precise and they get into the hollows of my cheek, as well as I can use the flat side over here when I go near my temples. So it's really easy and convenient to use these brushes. Now these kind of brushes can also be used to lay powder underneath your eyes. Now as they're having that tapered end, these easily fit under your eyes. So for baking, you can use these to apply powders underneath your eyes. So this is the Chotu version of the mother, and so these can be easily used to apply powder. So these are again a multitasking brushes. Then the next step we go in makeup is a blush. Now applying blush, you go with these kind of brushes. These are again fluffy. These are semi-densely packed. They are not extremely dense, and so they can blend your blush really good. So these kind of blushes, which are nice and long, a medium length and semi-densely packed, are used for applying blushes on your cheeks. Next favorite step is highlighter, and for applying highlighter, the first kind of brushes that we use are called as fan brushes. Now as you see, these are nicely spread brushes, and these are called as fan brushes, and you can use this to apply highlighter to the tops of your cheek just like this. You have to swirl and then you can blend it. It is really easy, and for beginners these kind of brushes are the best, and you can actually control the amount of highlighter that you put with these kind of brushes. And highlighter, there are other type of brushes like these are called as the tapered highlighting brushes. Unlike the fan brushes, the tapered highlighting brushes have densely packed hair, and so because of these dense packed bristles, it impacts a really good amount of highlighter. So if you want to go bang on with your highlighter, these are the kind of brushes you need to go for. These are again tapered at the top so that you can even try and apply less, but you need to be really practice for applying less with these kind of packing brushes, because they pack a lot of highlighter. So you need to be careful when you're using these kind of brushes. So these were your highlighting brushes. Lastly, in this category comes the lip brushes. Now these are again flat brushes on both the ends, but the top part is slightly curved, which makes the job really easy to apply your liquid lipstick or any kind of lipstick. These kind of lip brushes are really essential. So guys, those were all of the face makeup brushes. I hope this information is really helpful for you guys to identify which brush is used for what, and I really hope you guys learned something from this video. If you have any other queries, you can let me know in the comments down below. I'm here to always help you guys out. All of my shade matches would be in the description box, so don't forget to check out that. So I will meet you guys soon in the part 2 of this video, that is 101 about eye makeup brushes. I hope this is really helpful. If you did like this video, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. It's absolutely free. We will meet soon in the next video. Till then, take care, namaste, and keep trending.